Hello, my name is Wafula Lucy. I'll be taking you through food service management, and today we are going to discuss different types of service equipments. And being our first lesson, the first time we are meeting, our learning outcomes will be defining different types of service equipments and also know the factors to consider when purchasing those equipments. So here we have a variety of types of the service equipments, and they include tableware, glassware, we have chinaware, we have disposable equipments, we have linen, and finally furniture. So we'll be discussing each and every type for us to understand better. So we'll start with tableware. Tableware, it is a very important type of service equipment because without it we cannot serve the meal. So when you want to have tableware, it is a general term that explains flatware, all kinds of cutlery, and all hollowwares such as soup bowls, tureens, and examples of flatware are like dessert plates, and examples of cutleries are like the joint knives, fish knives, and all those. So you need to check keenly for the following factors when you're purchasing them. First, you should consider the type of meal and service being offered to the customer. You should also check on the maximum average seating capacity, how the space you need for your restaurant for the guest or the turnover you have. You also need to check on the rush hour turnover rate. This is mostly during luncheons. And you should also consider so much the wash up facilities. Do you have enough facilities to cater for the hygiene of the tableware? Then we have images here showing a example of cutlery and flatware, the dinner plates, the desserts, the side plates. Yeah, we check on them. Next, we are doing a discussion on glassware. This includes all drinking receptacle. Mostly they are made from sand, soda, and lime, and they are very important. Actually, when you set a table with glassware, it makes up the restaurant to be presentable and welcoming for the guests. So the following factors should be considered when purchasing them. One, the glass chosen should be completely transparent. Ensure that they don't have weird patterns or maybe flowers that can opaque the drink inside the glass not to be seen by the customer. Then they should be free of from air bubbles. The glass should have a smooth finishing. They are not supposed to be chipped, and for wine glasses, they should have a stem for holding when serving to avoid interfering with the temperatures. And here we have an image showing different glasses. You see they are transparent, they don't have patterns, they don't have flowerings. So you should be keen when you're choosing them. Next, we are checking on Chinaware. These are terms for crockery, whether earthen, vitrified, or boiled china, and they are very important in the restaurant. Mostly, they define the class of the establishment in terms of is it a five-star or is it a fast food restaurant. So you should check on the complete cover of glaze. This is to ensure a long length of their lifespan, and the chinaware should have the edges should be rolled so that for reinforcement, especially when you're holding them. and they should be dishwasher proof, and finally should have their covers under the glaze. That means the pattern. If you have a dinner plate with a pattern, the glaze should be under that cover, should be covered. Then we have an image here showing an example of the chinaware. Uh, the next important equipment of service here we have disposable. Refers to all materials and equipment disposed after use. That means when you use that equipment, you dispose it completely. You won't use it. So there were the factors that led to introduction of these equipments, and among them was need to reduce cost and cut on the high cost of laundering. For example, some restaurants may choose to use paper napkin instead of the linen napkin, meaning after using the serviettes, they will dispose them off, so they will not need the facilities for washing and cleaning them up compared to the linen napkin. And there was also need to reduce on the storage space and to improve standards of hygiene, because we need a neat environment for the customers. And we also there was need to include variety in the industry. People have different likes and preferences. Maybe I don't want to use the linen, so the napkin linen I will prefer a serviette. Then finally, there was difficulty of obtaining labor for workshop, especially when it is a startup restaurant. Maybe you don't have the workshop facilities, so you will opt for the disposable equipments. And therefore, here we have images showing an example of a disposable equipment, and they can also be used for takeaways. If you've gone somewhere and you want to take away your fish, you want to take away your kitchen, they'll pack it for you in this disposable equipment. You use them and you dispose after use. Finally, we have linen here, and that category. It is very important equipment in the service. It comprises of tablecloth, slip covers, napkins. We have glass cloths, all the linen that are used in the restaurant, and that makes up the deck of the restaurant. Then we need to consider the following factors when purchasing linen: class of the establishment, in terms of stars, the linen that will be used in a five-star hotel, it is not the same linen that will be used in an event, an outside catering event, or in a fast food restaurant. Then type of clientele. You also need to consider the cost you have when you want to purchase that linen, the service offered. Is it a buffet you're doing? Is it a silver service? Because the linen used in a buffet, for example, the skirtings are not equal to the table cloth that will be used in a silver service method. For here we have an example of a dining set with the linen. You see, these are the round tablecloths. Can be used for a luncheon, maybe a wedding reception. They're not equal to when you setting a buffet table. So furniture is also a very important equipment that is used for the service. They are chosen to determine dining arrangement. For example, you want to have theater or maybe church dining arrangement. Furniture will determine in consideration with the size and shape of the restaurant and with the number of guests you have. So those are among the factors that you'll need to consider when purchasing furniture. And additional factors are size and shape of the restaurant, type of restaurant. For a fast food restaurant, you will need those tables that are not that comfortable and chairs compared to a hotel whereby guests will want to walk in, have their time there. Yeah, then restaurant decor. How do you want your restaurant to look like? Do you want it to be presented in which way in relation to the theme color and the discussion of maybe it is a meeting, then type of clientele, and then finally money you have available for that. Uh, the amount of funds you want to spend for that furniture will also determine the kind of furniture you want in relation to their finishing. And here we have a dining arrangement. This can be those used in a hotel, not a fast food restaurant, because you see they are kind of comfortable and at least the customer can have some enough time there. Um, we come to the end of our lesson today. Thank you. Not unless somebody has a question, we call it a day. Have a good evening.